welcome to the VMware Explore Barcelona preview. My name is Pete Fletcher, and joining me as always is my good friend, Mr. John Nicholson. Juan, ¿qué pasa?
I'm got my new Pelican case in, so I'm ready to start packing to bring stuff with me. Also planning my tapas route through Catalonia. It's going to be fun.
Oh yeah, let me cue the music. Barcelona! Yeah, Barcelona, baby. I cannot wait. Oh man, yeah. It's always fun heading over to Barcelona, right? The tapas, the sangria, or other drinks. But yeah, really fun there. The sessions are great. Super technical audience there. Yeah, man, VMware Explore Barcelona is always a good time, and I'm looking forward to it, man. How about you?
It's something that I go to both the U.S. and the Barcelona Explore VMworld every year, and I don't want to say that, I like one group of people or one better than the other. It's like asking me which, when you ask a parent which child they like better, they immediately may think of one, but they try not to say it out loud. But let's be honest, we like Barcelona better.
Yeah.
The food's better. It's a cooler city. And also the questions you get are smarter. So this is like a little inside baseball as a presenter here. We actually sometimes have to make the session more technical, just because the audiences will start grumbling in the feedback of this was too much marketing, not technical enough. You guys also just ask the really weird questions. I have never had to do hash collision math in my head live on stage except in Barcelona. So look forward to hearing. Bring your questions, bring your stuff, and also please register early because it looks like there's a lot of people already signed up.
Yeah, I saw that. Some of the session looks like the rooms are bigger this year too, which is pretty interesting. So they've got some very large rooms, and the sessions are definitely packing up. Speaking of sessions, John, link below. But yes, we have a virtually speaking podcast live session. It's called 60 Minutes of Virtually Speaking Cloud Data Management. We've got a bunch of folks joining us on a panel that we're going to talk about some of the complexities with managing your data in the cloud. And yeah, we're going to be and those live podcasts are always fun because it's just really like a conversation with the audience. We've got the panel of experts, but we also a lot of people joined in the conversation. It's fun. Last year we had Kelsey and a bunch of folks, so that was a great conversation. This year we've got William Lamb, we've got Jad Elzine, and Ahmad Yunus. So it's going to be a good conversation. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're also going to have some great customer interviews, some product interviews. Part of the fun of this event being a little bit later than the US one is there's things that, just because of the timeline of releases or announcements or partnerships getting inked, that come out separate. And I know some years people may say, it just feels like it's a Me Too. They just copy paste all the content or copy paste the announcements.
No,
that is not the case. This one will be different for reasons maybe more than you're obviously thinking. There are some cool things in the pipeline that Peter and I are both very excited about that are going to be on the main stage. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and it's not called Broadcom Explore, so it's still VMware Explore. It's going to be a good time. John, also something I'm super excited about is we've got a booth inside the hub, and just looking at the pictures, it looks really cool. So we're going to be doing a lot of interviews with customers, partners, V-experts. We've got some execs coming on, so it's going to be a good mix of VMware Explore coverage, and so we're looking forward to seeing everybody there. We're bringing swag. We're going to be hanging out in the hub over by the VMware communities area. So yeah, come on by, and if you're a subscriber and a listener, hit me up on DM on @VirtSpeaking, and let us know. We'll get you on the list if you want to come on and join and have a conversation with us at the event. We'd love to chat with you.
Yeah,
that's going to be fun.
Yeah, we're looking for that. And again, come by the booth. We've got stickers. So assuming Pete remembers to pack them today.
Oh, no, we've got more than stickers, man. We've got swag.
Yeah. We got a lot. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So the session and just covering and seeing everybody, it's going to be a good time. yeah, heck, so many sessions, and there's obviously a lot of new announcements. One of the sessions that I'm definitely looking forward to is the session with Christos, our fellow, that one of the guys that actually invented vSAN early days, and so he's doing a whole session on storage and data services, and so we had an opportunity to talk to him before this and actually get some information around his session, and here's that. Christos, welcome back to the podcast. How you doing, sir?
Hey, good to be back. Very well. How are you guys doing?
Doing well, doing well. Yeah. So John and I are previewing VMware Explore. Looking forward going back to Barcelona, one of my favorite places. But yeah, so Christos, I know you've got a great session that John and I will both be attending. It's called Storage and Data Infrastructure Innovations from vSAN to Data Services on VMware Cloud. So give me an update. What exactly is that? And what is Data Services Manager?
All right, sure. This breakout session is going to cover some of our new innovations and actually roadmap in the space of storage and data management. I'll on the first half, I'll cover some of the latest and greatest features from vSAN, vSAN Max, the technology on which it is built, vSAN ESA. And then I will explain how we are using all those new capabilities, new technologies in the storage layer to start building more features further up the stack, especially helping our customers manage their various data engines and data services they offer in a consistent way, in a scalable fashion, so that they can essentially provide database as a service to their own internal customers and the application teams, the developers, and so on. And this is really what all these features are implemented in the context of this new product called Data Services Manager. It allows the VMware customers, the IT teams, to deploy and manage databases. We're starting with Postgres and MySQL, the Tanzu SQL engines. And in Explore Barcelona, we're going to announce some new partnerships with major players in this space. And so we'll bring some third-party data engines on our platform. And this is, the first step in a longer-term roadmap where we'll have more and more data engines, all of them operationalized in the same consistent way, so that our customers or the IT teams can manage their sprawling data estate in a consistent kind of control fashion that will ensure that all the databases or the data engines are secure, they have the proper lifecycle management, backups, disaster recovery, without having to build like bespoke implementations for every different database. And also programmatic interfaces and user interface that allows the consumers of the database, typically the lines of business,
Yeah.
application teams, to consume those databases or other services in a similar way you find on public clouds. Programmatically integrate with their CI/CD pipelines, integrate observability with their applications observability, a lot of those features. So we're going to cover some of those things as well.
So this is really exciting because I worked in a lot of environments where otherwise the whole estate was virtualized. We had full visibility across, all the applications, and then you got to a database, and it was this weird cylinder of excellence. Maybe not a full silo, but it was shiny there in the corner, and it had a vendor brand, the badge of whoever made that database. And suddenly it's like, okay, something's going on there. We don't know what's going on. The backups are handled by some vendor specific tooling. We have no visibility, but it's really important. And so, and if you're a shop that only had one database, I guess you'd put up with this. But as people are proliferating more and more of these databases, I like this term data engine because I'm assuming that means more than just our relational model databases. That's a bit broader, hopefully. But
That,
this is cool to be able to control that sprawl.
yeah, it goes beyond relational databases. That's where we're starting from, admittedly. Relational database is the vast majority of the data engines our customers run today, right? But as we see from telemetry, the types of data engines that we see on VMware Cloud, it keeps increasing, right? We see a lot of NoSQL, document databases, methods, buses, streaming, lots of things. You'll be surprised in how long that list of data engines we see on telemetry is. So we're starting with the most popular engines, and then obviously we're going to be expanding over time. And the proliferation problem you're mentioning is exactly what our customers tell us about. A typical VMware customer 10 years ago, the IT team would manage like, a dozen, perhaps 2 dozen database instances. These days, we're talking about, first of all, several different databases. You have, some Postgres, MySQL, and SQL Server, of course, and MongoDB, and so on, but also a large number of instances. We've gone from a couple of dozens to several hundreds in a typical organization. And this proliferation of the number of databases stems mostly from modern applications, where now you consume a time series database or a vector DB for some of your modern and AI use cases. So that is definitely a problem, and that's why I'm going to talk a lot about how we help our customers manage all that estate in a scalable fashion. Because imagine, how can you go and provision manually a database for your application teams like 100 times a day?
So does this like when you say management? Obviously, management is always a key consideration. So I'm assuming is this all managed inside of vSphere? What does that
Yes,
look like?
right. Look, it's managed inside vSphere. In fact, with tools and APIs that are native extension of what our customers know already about vSphere, about VCF in general. So you'll see, first of all, database inventory integration with the vSphere user interface. You go there now. You don't have to guess what VMs are database by looking at the name and try to decipher what is going on. You're going to have full visibility, not only what VMs are really databases, but what are the clusters of the databases, which groups of VMs, for example, or for that matter, also containers, constitute a single database cluster, what version of database is running there, even integrate with observability. So you see database metrics as part of your user interface. So as an IT admin, you can have an end-to-end visibility from how your database is performing, how it is doing, down to the physical resources, CPU and memory and storage that it consumes. And if you have, any issues with the performance, you can very quickly go through the stack and see, is that a storage problem? Is it memory constraint? What it is, and address it and remediate the issue rapidly.
It it's good to see the application monitoring being a true end-to-end thing, so we no longer have teams having to do handoffs or in reality, pointing fingers at each other. So sounds like a much improved way for the infrastructure team to kind of own that SLA end to end.
Yeah. Well, listen, Christos, this is we could do a deep dive on this today, or we could just go to your session in a couple of weeks, which we're definitely going to do. Yeah, absolute link below for those that are coming to Explore to actually register to the session. Christos, you were one of the main people that actually came up with the concept of vSAN for VMware. Like, did you ever envision today, like it's come so far, like it used to just be, a very different product, in the early versions compared to all the different services that it does now with the new architecture, with Express Storage Architecture, and now vSAN Max and all these other things, and now these Data Services Manager. Is this something that you envisioned early days when you first came up with vSAN, or is this?
I don't know if I envisioned. I was certainly hoping that we're going to change the industry. What we did, through with a storage offering from VMware. I'm very proud for where we are now. The team has really executed this new architecture of vSAN. I would say drastically new architecture for modern storage devices. I'm talking about ESA in a remarkable way. This is probably the first major storage product that has undergone such a major data path surgery in a non-disruptive way. So I, I want to believe that it was partly because of the nice, modular architecture we had from the beginning, but also I think most of the kudos goes to the engineers that are actually working on the product these days. And we have now in our hands a real enterprise grade storage product. And especially with this new, ESA features and actually even more related features that are coming down the road, and vSAN Max now that allows our customers to disaggregate, the software-defined storage that vSAN classes offer from compute. That is going to serve even more use cases. Now you can, scale your computer and storage independently. You don't have to size everything together from the get-go. It's really, really powerful. So I'm very proud, and I see an even brighter future for vSAN ahead of us.
Absolutely. Very, very good. Christos, thanks for joining us on this Explore preview. For those listening, man, if you're going to be at Explore, you need to chase this guy down, go to his session. If you're building any architecture in using VMware, you're going to want to hear from this gentleman. So Christos, as always, thank you for joining us on Virtually Speaking.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Very cool. Yeah, so I love Christos. I love chatting with him. He is definitely he is a brilliant mind, and he understands this stuff. And I don't think I've ever asked him a question where he didn't have the answer for it. So,
well, if you've got more questions for him, just come by the session and ask him. So it's this direction with the data engines is cool.
Yeah, so that's it. So we will see you at VMware Explore Barcelona. Come check us out in the hub, and until then, bye for now.